Hello, everyone.
Hello?
Welcome back to our next episode.
Yeah, welcome back.
Here we are again.
What do we have for today?
So, last time we were talking about when the very special place of Curitiba, our visit there, while we were staying in Tota. And today we're going to go to Duitama. That's another trip I made while we were in Bojaca over the Christmas holidays. And that's also an interesting story how that came about. I got this invitation to from a very special lady who I got to know through Rafael.
She is someone very special too. She practices martial arts, and she is very interested in this ancient Asian world from Asia. So she is learning Taoism and trying to have a Taoist life, kind of.
Lifestyle, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's in the same kung fu group, martial arts group as you, as Rafael.
Yeah, we practice.
So that's how we know
martial arts.
her. Yeah,
And because once we invite Frida to this martial art team to have an sharing and exchanging to listen from you, how do you perceive energy, and how was your perception while we were practicing kung fu. So they got to know you at that time, and Janet, that is this lady, she was very impressed and felt very connected to you. She felt this compassion and somehow wanted to invite you, and he wanted to help somehow, even like, I don't know, like from her heart, trying to find some help. Yeah. Or yeah.
yeah, because we were staying in the city here temporarily, where I am, and it's quite rough for someone with who's highly sensitive with the perception that I have. So, and she understands that. Yeah.
And actually, it wasn't the first time you met her after that first meeting in
Alolai,
martial arts meeting. After that, we have another weekend when we went to a very beautiful place.
yeah.
And Janet and other beautiful people joined. It was a beautiful weekend. So we were sharing that weekend with you and with them, and Janet was there. So she was looking how you were struggling with these energy changes and the places and everything. So she felt like this, that she wanted to help him somehow.
And she wanted, so she suggested to take me to this place. It's a Taoist place in the mountains in Duitama, which is also in Bojaca.
Yeah. Duitama before was a very important settlement in the communities. Now is growing the city. Before was a town that is getting kind of city dimensions. And yeah, there is a story behind that. Tundama, to be more exact. Tundama was like the leader of that population, of that settlement, of that town. And he was very well known because he was a warrior, and he made this resistance against the Spaniards' army, and he made this very brave confrontation, and he made his own army, and he was battling until the end. Was the only one who really dared to face Spaniards face to face, and yeah, basically until he died.
So it's a very beautiful archetype that we encounter in many histories of different of all of our cultures. Actually, this is always this one person who is the hero, someone who stands up, who takes a stand against the darkness trying to take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, many other towns around were easily conquered, and especially because they were very afraid about these new people, these white with beard, with horses, new animals, with armor. So they said this is a new. They don't use clothes; they use iron clothes. They don't have like bones and arrows. They have fire guns. This is something totally new. Is now if we, I don't know, see a total new species, a human being or another coming, and they were like just surrounded easily. They thought they were gods in somehow, or they were waiting for something like that. In some predictions, some legends, some it sort of like someone was coming, and they were like very confused about that. They thought they were gods, but I didn't know they were like something evil, destroying everything. So they say, "Oh, they are not gods, but we are like helpless. We cannot fight them. They are so strong." And then they start to use another indigenous to reinforce the army. I mean, to use indigenous people to fight with them. But when they arrived to Tundama's place, they already knew that they were not good. And then he tried to face them. Was the only one who said, "Let's fight them."
So, to reiterate, the Spanish came and were conquering these indigenous tribes, and taking some of the tribes and making them part of their army, right?
Like forcing them, actually.
Forcing them, yeah. Now, what's interesting is this prediction, the prophecies that I've heard about that from different places in Abya Jala, that these native or indigenous tribes had this prophecy that one day these different kinds of people would arrive, or beings would arrive and change a lot of things. And what's interesting for me is that they did not know whether I guess they assumed that they would be good people. Like you say, they assumed maybe in the beginning that maybe they are gods. These beings on the horses that look like one,
one
like in the beginning, like a fusion, yeah. Something that doesn't exist.
As half human and half beast, They didn't know that they were like two different beings. So they thought this is a big beast with 4 feet, with 4 legs. And like the chest and the upper part looks like a human, but it's still with an outside armor that they never saw before. So at the beginning it was so scary, something really new. But they have some prophecies about something that was arriving to change. Exactly. I don't know the interpretation that they have what was, but they were waiting or expecting something like that to change definitively all what they have.
Wow, this is, yeah. This is really interesting. For me, is a confirmation of that this time is really, this timeline we are in is really the time where we can really change the history. We can make something, we are making a better future. We are doing it. We are changing the world radically. Yeah. I lost my thread.
Well, this is just to give a short introduction or give some ideas about why Tundama, or nowadays Duitama, is a very important place, like historically, and it is the place that you were invited to go.
So he was this hero, this leader of this indigenous tribe that stood up against the Spaniards, the Spanish people, invaders, and he made a stand against them. Talking about taking a stand, there's what we're being asked to do this year specifically. Those of us who have been sort of in hiding, who are very sensitive and perceptive, and who've been spreading a lot of love, but sort of in a hidden way, and we're being asked to step out and to now lead ourselves and our community, like our network, I mean, to start leading with clarity instead of just hiding. And so what I'm doing here is part of helping us do that. I'm showing myself, my work, really going public with it, which is was really, it took a long time to do that. It's also only here that I'm finally able to really be honest about the way I work with these travels and things. Helping places and people, connecting places with one another, consciousness, bringing awareness. and is only possible because of this land. I just want to throw that in. And these people, not only, but also everyone is, everyone is helping, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And also, it reminds me that Duitama was not only a physical warrior, but he was a very inspired person. Like conquerors were very amazed how he debate, how he discuss, and the way that he were like facing them, mm, in intelligence or in this eloquence, because they consider he is an inferior person. I mean, whenever person who didn't know Christianism, they consider like lower person. So it's like this savage guy. How has he has this high intelligence or understanding that he speaks poetically to us when they translate all his things. So before he went to the arms, he was trying to do all what he could through what you are doing now, showing this consciousness through the messages and discussing with them. It was a very enlightened person, and then he used his force too. When the Spaniards never like understood exactly what was his message, he was talking about peace. He was talking to them about like equilibrium between new races and everything. He was like beyond that. He was also predicting that it's possible to have a balanced life with new like people that are coming, like connecting from different parts. But the Spaniards were they didn't listen to him at that time. So he was also trying to do that. He was like the warrior in both sides, and what you just mentioned, what you are trying to do with all of it, reminds me that part of Tundama too.
That moves me very deeply. I just see everything connecting. Like we're really connecting the past with the now and bringing healing and resolution into all of these. Our ancestors who attempted so many things to change, to bring positive change in a good way, and it looked like they failed, but they didn't. Because here we are, and look at us across. We are bridging races and cultures and continents and histories. We are bridging it here and connecting it. And I want to throw something in here because I, too, in my personal history, have stories like that in South Africa of these people who took a stand. And also, there's an important celebration day for my people in South Africa, the 16th of December. And it's also about this story where my ancestors went to the indigenous tribes, an indigenous tribe, or well, sort of half indigenous, in South Africa, way back when they were entering, like settling in the country, and they try to also negotiate, like you were just describing about Tuntama. They were trying to negotiate, like in the good way, like to make for a peaceful coexistence. And they were like bringing gifts and contracts, like signing, trying to sign contracts with them. And they had this whole celebration when they met upon the Zulu tribe, actually. And it looked like everything was going well, and they too, in the end, it went really, really wrong. So our ancestors, they thought it was going well, and then it ended in a big massacre. So they got killed. It was all for nothing. It looked so it looked. And here we are, connecting those two stories, and their sacrifices weren't for nothing. Now we are rich.
Continuing that battles.
And now it's possible. Like, look at us. All of these people now. We are not just living in peace more and more together, but we are exchanging information and bridging the gaps without losing our individuality, without losing the culture. We are also returning to culture. And yes, in some places there's still a lot of war going on. But this is part of the work, why we talk about this, why we do this work here, to help exactly that. Because, there is still a lot of war going on, like terrible things happening between cultures, between groups, between races. So, healing. We want to help heal that.
Yeah, so all of this is part of that, and because many people also consider that this battle is, or these wars are external wars, like humans against humans and destroying themselves, but this is just a distraction of a very more deep and strong confrontation that is beyond this human society system. So yeah, but well, maybe we are going a little bit far from Duitama. So
I got this invitation there
yeah.
to this Taoist community that is in the mountains in Borjaca. Yeah.
So I am very curious because I also was invited to go, but I couldn't. I mean, just wasn't my time yet. So I wanted to know. So you went there. How is the place first? Like when you arrive, how is the place?
So is most of Borjaca is really cold, but this place was a bit lower down, so it was a lot warmer, which was really nice. But it is just getting there. It's like through mountain roads by car. About 2 hours from Duitama, you drive into the mountains. The most incredible views I have never seen in my life, like anything like it. It was just getting there was an experience, and
Sounds magical, like the way.
absolutely, yeah. That in itself is life changing. Is already when you let it really impress you. So it was, and so the place itself is like, yeah, so the place is really in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. And because it's warmer, it's like this combination between like it has some altitude, but it's also already the plants are already starting to look like a lot more like rainforest. So it was in the forest, and all of these big what was most impressive was these big ferns, these very big ferns, and of course all the like huge leaves, incredibly beautiful plants. But
Like
yeah,
a little oasis,
yeah,
oasis in middle of these cold and high places in Boyaca. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, something like that. Mm, yeah.
So the place was like that, but they got to build a community there. Is kind of town or what? What are like? How did they organize that place, or what did you see? Because it's a community, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's actually like a little town. You have
Okay.
a couple of like a certain number of people who live there permanently, and then you have a lot of visitors, because it's a Taoist center, and they have a leader, of course, who set it up, and who doesn't live there anymore, but sort of the guide of the place, the guiding with Taoist doctrine, and then they have certain ways of living, ways of talking, ways of they try to implement that in everyday life. Of course, much of it is not really, I it's not really my thing personally. Like, I know, but yeah, some people really connect with that doctrine, and they feel really at home in it. So a lot of community activities as well. They have a common kitchen where everyone can get food if they want to. There are two different types of kitchens actually, and yes, like a community center. What can you call it? Yeah, where they try to promote this community living as well a bit, and they're very much into, well, according to the doctrine, very much into protecting nature, connecting with nature, taking, like, they're strictly vegetarian, of course, taking care of nature, and they also sell a lot of like agricultural products.
Do they farm? Do they farm?
I think some of them, yeah, some of them in the community do. They have goats, they have cows, they sell milk. They sell their products basically there. Yeah, so
But I mean, they use their own garden products.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vegetable gardens. I'm not sure if they use only that. I didn't see that, but they have grow their own foods, at least some of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really fresh, very fresh food.
And I remember that we couldn't connect until you were like buying some little of internet, so they are like really disconnected from this access to the.
I'll be honest, that was a bit some things. Yeah, it was something to get used to. I'll put it like that.
Okay.
So they definitely have their own way of doing things, which I know not everyone will like that. But it's a very peaceful place, and there's no reception, no internet, no cell phone reception. So if you wanna, they have something wired so they can access Wi-Fi. So they have some setup that can produce Wi-Fi. So you can buy for an hour. You can go online.
Wow.
But you're really like in the middle, like you're 2 hours from Duitama, 2 hours from the town on the other side of the valley. So you're in the middle of nowhere.
Do they have electricity?
Yes, they do. There are these big power lines that go through the valley that cut through there as well. So there are some farms around as well that are not connected to the community. So they are farmers. Yeah.
I remember that you mentioned also that you met some interesting people there, like some women with a very important energy there.
Once again, that was a cosmic appointment. It was like I had to be there, which it wasn't easy because at this point I'm still struggling with some symptoms with my stomach that are really rough. So it's difficult to go places where I'm fully dependent upon people, where I cannot just and the program and the cannot just do my own thing. So but it was meant to happen. Like it was, I met a soul sister there where we saw each other and we realized, oh, we've been waiting to meet one another for a long time.
Wow.
And apart from the lady that took me there, Janet.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about her.
Yeah. We became sisters there also while we were there. and we were making these plans together. But it was beautiful. I love her. But yeah, so it's really like more, most of the people there are like Colombian people. And I arrived and they were like, we were registering and I don't speak Spanish yet. So
Un poquito.
Poquito.
A little bit.
So there was this lady or these women who were trying to register me, and they were like, and there's no internet, so we cannot use Google Translate. And we're like, and then they called this woman that lives there in the community. And she's like, please come help us. And she speaks English. And
where is she from?
She's from Denmark.
Oh, okay.
And she's been living there for like, I think the first time she moved there was 20 years ago.
Wow.
Or more than 20 years. More than 20 years. Yeah, or 20 years. So, and she's from Denmark, and we immediately connected. It was incredible.
Wow. Very interesting. And
where I immediately recognized, oh, so this is, I always look for that one connecting point. Where I know, okay, here I'm meant to pass on my codes, as we say, or my information, or exchange with someone or someplace. Yeah. There's always like one key point where a lot of exchange happens, and where I know we are now working with timelines. We are really like shaping the future. We are really bringing in all of this positive energy, this new energy, and that will bring new life and help to change old structures that are not helping us anymore. That are, yeah.
Wow. Yes, I remember that when you were trying to explain, because at the time we also were like impressed with being in Tota, but I wanted to know about with Duitama, and you were saying that even though Janet cannot speak English too, and this woman was very important, Janet like played a very important role in that time, because even have to take this language that is beyond the words, right? But you get like such a connection that you didn't really have to speak the common language and really flow into that.
I've got goosebumps just thinking. Because talking about it now, you realize how incredible that actually was. It's like, and that reminds me of these ancient abilities that our ancestors had returning to us because it's happening. Like some people, they have telekinesis nowadays, right? But this is telepathy, telekinesis, all of those things, and this is something like that.
Wow.
Now I recognize it because, and it was enhanced by the nature, like it, this very powerful nature around us, and this slow, like, because you're cut off from everything, this is slow life. It's just a very easy pace that you go through the day. And we would, like, as Janet and I were connecting, at some point there came a point where we were so like in this different brainwave state, just not meditating at all, just in by sitting together and talking and having some fun. And at some point she was started talking like in Spanish and really fast, and she was telling me this whole story and talking. I don't speak Spanish. And I was able to follow the whole conversation. I was just like, yes, exactly. Wow. And we were connecting so deeply. And by the end of it, we weren't even surprised. We just went to sleep and we're like, yeah, I just understood a whole conversation in Spanish, just from feeling, just from being in this different, like in this connection also.
So I guess she also was having the same feeling with you, like that she could connect you and she understood all what you were trying to express.
She understood a lot of what I was saying, yeah. I didn't speak as much, but yeah, she...
That's wonderful, because Janet is very important key in all of these, because she really makes everything by heart. I mean, like, not by memory, but by feeling. I mean, she even cannot speak the language or have these, I don't know, apparent like simpleness from outside. But all what she does is just like pure love, everything. So being with her this time, this short time, was like, I guess, enhancing that power that she has, that maybe for her is quite, I don't know, in her humbleness or in her simpleness, she is also making a very important impact around her. But maybe through you and with the experience that she got with you, she could like really feel all of what she has to.
I really wanted that, and I think she's starting to realize that now she says, I wonder if we will be allowed to post a photo of her, but she has this dark hair and this like copper skin, and but these bright eyes,
Yes,
that are very piercing and very clear, like she looks at you and it's like she looks right through you.
it's very interesting, because I remember when I saw her for the first time, she reminds, I don't know, the young age of my mom, something like someone from my land. I saw her and she's part of the indigenous world for sure. And I didn't know that she was from Boyaca, and she was like also into that. And yeah, you say, but she has a very different eyes. She doesn't have like the common indigenous eyes, but his face and his skin is totally indigenous. It's a beautiful combination she has.
And she really, like, also it shows in her posture, like she really has this very strong root energy, and it just flows through her. And she provides, just through her presence, it's like she provides a sort of container through this root energy, like a structure just by existing there, that you, like a couch, like something you can relax into, like a room space that you feel safe inside of. Like she really just brings that energy just like that. And she has a very beautiful, unique, somewhat for me, somewhat unique aura, like which is like this interesting combination between like yellow and a certain type of brown, but a very vibrant brown. That's the closest I can describe it as, is brown. It's not really brown, but sort of. And a lot of white, and it's really like, it radiates this earthy energy, which is really beautiful. But she was, when we were walking there, there's a lot of streams coming down the mountain. And every time we cross, the road crosses the stream, she's like runs to the water, and she's like, look, water, look. And then she loves the water, and the water responds to her. Like it's like the waves of the water, like the whitish energy goes towards her, like it mixes with her aura. It responds to her when she goes like this, much stronger than to me. And I was telling her that, and she was like, her eyes, like, she was so amazed when I told her that. And that made me realize, that really touched me. And I was like, how does she not realize that? That the nature is speaking through her so powerfully, especially in Bojaca. Like, she has that connection with the land. And she lives in the city here. And just think about all the healing she's bringing just through existing here. Because she's a channel for that very beautiful energy. Yeah.
I think we feel it especially when we are practicing Kung Fu, because she is very silent, she is very quiet, but is very strong. And with this humble spirit is very impressive. Very impressive.
She can be quite strict as well, you know? I just want to let you know. Like, almost impatient when we start joke fighting with one another. It's like that was quite fun. But yeah, and then I found out, she's the eldest. She's, I think, the eldest sister of like 10 children, and that explained a lot. I was like, okay.
Yeah, especially if she grew up in Bojaca in this time. I guess she's from the previous generation where, like the elder have to take care of everyone. But yeah, like, it's very, very strong heart she has. So yeah, Janet is a very important key, because I guess that trip to there was not just to see the community and the place or the way this program that they have there, but interact with her, with Janet in that place, and to meet the people that you met and have these impressions, and maybe connected with the land, not necessarily with the project that they have, but what the nature brings that make people like them being there, like what is behind. So important for you, because I guess it wasn't very easy to have, again, to adapt quickly for a couple of days and adjust to, but it was part of your mission at that time.
Yeah.
So what could be the conclusion after you came back from this experience and the people and the community there and the short time that you experienced there?
I'll get into some things, but what appears in my, like, the image that appears so strongly in my mind right now as you're talking is the road we were walking on sometimes that was going down into the valley. There's these plants, two types of plants, but one specifically, one little, like a weed. It's basically a weed that grows by the side of the road, but is related to a plant I was connecting with very strongly in Malaysia always. And I was connecting, and it was all like calling to me here. And so I was just communicating with this plant so strongly and feeling Malaysia so strongly, and then seeing starting to see so many connections between the places. Maybe also because Malaysia is tropical, so it also has this forest with this very lush plant growth with the very big leaves, and I had these very intense experiences there in the rainforest in Malaysia. and then walking through the forest here with